bimanual approach, that is what I'm going to discuss about diabetic vitrectomies. Why bimanual approach is required? Because when we are doing the traditional 3-port vitrectomy, we have only one active instrument, and then the removal of fibrovascular membrane becomes difficult, especially in a very taut posterior hyaloid face in broad attachments. So it is good to go for bimanual vitrectomy, where you put a chandelier light, 1 or 2 lights in place, and you use 2 active instruments, one to hold the membranes and the other membrane to dissect, delaminate, and remove firmly adherent diabetic membranes. And it is very important to give preoperative anti-VEGF agents in such patients 3 to 5 days before surgery, because your surgery becomes almost bloodless. And it is always a good idea to do laser photocoagulation in such patients before taking off for surgery, because it has been seen there are less chances of bleeding, and even PRP may lead to some PVD induction also. So I'll be showing 2 videos of patients whom we did the vitrectomy. So this was a combined retinal detachment case. We started with the unimanual. You can see the vitreous hemorrhage we are taking out with the vitrectomy cutter. So the combined retinal detachment case because of diabetic retinopathy. And we started with 3-port vitrectomy. You can see we are just trimming the posterior hyaloid face, which is to the periphery of the proliferation. Now we are applying this forceps and removing the posterior hyaloid face stump, which was attached to the optic disc, and now taking off the posterior hyaloid face gently, because the retina was detached and quite necrotic. And you can see we are gently taking it off, and slight bleeding also started over there. And now removing this from with the vitrectomy cutter. And this was the point we realized that this membrane is going to be quite tough. Now we had put chandelier here, because we needed to have this dissection in a very disciplined manner. You can see with one hand we are holding the fibrous. Scissors, we are going.
You have not done.
Membrane and.
Sorry, na phone Martin, I forgot. I'll call them. Okay, Martin.
Curved scissors, we are just trying to cut the membrane from the periphery going towards the center. And it is very important to identify the membranes, because there may be 2 membranes, and if you are not able to identify the correct plane, you will just keep cutting and may use more bleeding than going ahead. So you can see that we are finding the plane between the retina and the fibrovascular membrane, and the retina is quite detached over. So it is very difficult because there is no counter traction, and you just have to go very slowly. Otherwise, you are likely to produce more bleeding, likely to end up more retinal breaks. So you have to be very, very gentle while dissecting such membranes. And once the membranes are cut with the scissors, you can go ahead with the vitrectomy cutter. Also, you can see we are just poking it through the retinal folds and to find out any membrane still remaining over there. And you can see that we are just taking it, lifting up, and then applying the vitrectomy cutter to break the membranes in between. And again, now instead of the scissors, vitrectomy cutter to find the gap between the membranes and simultaneously cutting it off. So one hand we are holding the membrane. Retina is detached, it is giving such great difficulty, but vitrectomy cutter also a good tool to find the gap and cutting the membranes. And you can see we are going nicely into the breaks, and you have to be very gentle, otherwise you are likely to tear off the retina also. So you just need to know like how much pull you are applying on the retina. You can see that. And if any bleeding happens, you need to cauterize in between also, otherwise your field is going to get murkier, and you may not be able to find the membrane, because this blood which forms over the retina forms like a thin fibrinous membrane, and which is very difficult to get off. Then you can see one by one we are removing all the membranes with the help of the cutter and the end gripping forceps. You can see the whole thing is attached. Now we are going with the fluid air exchange, and there was a break here which got enlarged also during dissection, and the retina has started falling back because all the traction was relieved. You can see this only one break formation was there. And then we're doing, after fluid air exchange, we'll be doing laser photocoagulation to this one. And you can see this retina is nicely attached and doing the laser photocoagulation. This is another case of asteroid hallosis with the dense fibroscler proliferation with a big break over here. We are applying bimanual dissection of the membranes we are doing. And then this was a tabletop TRD. And once after vitrectomy, the posterior hyaloid face was identified, we are going ahead with the forceps and scissors to find the plane between the membrane and the retina. And you have to go very gently and you have to give sideways movement also, because some of the places the adhesions are not so strong. And if you're able to identify such planes, you are able to dissect the membranes better. You can see such a large break over here. And everything has to be done.
With all due respect, I request doctor to please sum it up within next 20
All
seconds.
right. So to conclude, working bimanually helps to avoid damage to viable retina because we are working under high magnification and we are better able to define the plane and edges of the membrane with less chances of iatrogenic breaks and bleeding. So it's a method of choice for diabetic vitrectomy where dense proliferative membranes are there attached to the retina.